My wife made a disgusting comment about her brother's girlfriend. Now he won't speak to her.
I'm not talking to you.
So this goes all the way back to last Christmas, when my 29 male wife, 29 female, and I first met my brother-in-law's 28 male girlfriend, 23 female. My wife has 5 siblings, and out of all of them, she's always been the closest to Paul, meaning he would come over to our house at least twice a week. He has a spare set of keys to our place in case of an emergency, and we even had an emergency key to his apartment. By the way, this comes from expert sample 6563. And if you want to spit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, everything was fine until last October, when we noticed that Paul stopped coming over. My wife said he hardly even replied to her texts, which was concerning since Paul has a history of depression and sometimes withdraws from everyone when he hits a dark place. One night after my wife got his voicemail 4 times and my in-laws confirmed they hadn't heard him either, we drove to his apartment out of concern and used the emergency key. Usually when Paul gets like this, his apartment looks a mess. But to our surprise, his place was spotless and smelled like a Bath and Body Works store. When my wife realized he wasn't home, she took the opportunity to snoop. And that's when she found silk sheets, high-end women's clothing, skincare, new appliances, and meal preps in the fridge. It was clear that Paul had a girlfriend. As soon as we got home, my wife sent him a message telling him we had stopped by and asking why he hadn't told us he was seeing someone. Eventually, Paul called back, apologized for being so distant, and explained that he had been dating a girl named Sadie for a while. The reason he hadn't told us was because my wife is often too pushy. Clearly, she's snooping. And he didn't want her to be upset that he was dating someone she hadn't set him up with, since my wife had tried to set him up with her friends several times in the past. He also told us not to worry if he didn't stop by as much and that he would introduce us to Sadie when he felt ready. After that, we hardly heard from him until December, when he told us he was bringing Sadie to meet the family the day after Christmas. Honestly, I was happy for him. Yes, I missed hanging out, but I was glad the guy was living his own life. My wife, however, was furious, saying that Sadie was probably the one making Paul distance himself from the family and that she had made him buy all those expensive items we had seen at his place. When the day after Christmas came, everyone gathered at my in-laws' house to meet Sadie, and everyone, including myself, was a bit surprised, since Sadie was nowhere near his usual type. As my sister-in-law said, she gave off black cat energy. I honestly thought Sadie was pretty nice. She was friendly to everyone, helped in the kitchen, cracked a few jokes, and Paul seemed genuinely happy. He was telling everyone about how he had been eating less processed foods and now craved cleaner meals and how Sadie takes him on her morning runs. Throughout it all, however, my wife looked noticeably annoyed. And when I tried to speak to her, she brushed me off, saying that Sadie was trying to change Paul into someone he was not. Despite everything, she held her tongue. That night, while my wife and I were having drinks with all her siblings, the conversation steered toward everyone making jokes about Paul's new lifestyle and how surprised they were that his type had changed so much. It was all lighthearted until my wife offered Paul a second adult soda.
Uh-oh.
And he declined, saying he tried to drink less because Sadie hates the smell of it. That led my sister-in-law to crack a joke, saying that he better refuse the adult soda or he wouldn't get lucky that night. At that point, I think Paul just had enough of the jokes and drank another adult soda just to quiet everyone down. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
He shouldn't have to feel bad for wanting to
Be healthy.
be accommodating to his girlfriend and also just be healthier.
I think sometimes you get around that certain group and whether that's drinking or smoking or eating unhealthily, they make you feel bad.
Yeah.
If you don't also, that's not everyone who does those things, but there are certain people that will make you feel bad because they kind of feel bad about it. And then they see you not wanting to do that. And to them, it feels like a slight against them.
Yeah.
And you're saying that they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
That's not what you're doing, Paul.
I never thought, if I go out and drink and someone's oh, I don't drink or whatever, I don't make them feel bad for that.
Yeah, because you're a good person. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. I'm just nice to them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's better than being mean, I guess.
By 1 a.m., Paul had gotten pretty tipsy. 2 beers had turned into 5. And then he took the bait of the other's jokes by revealing that Sadie actually wants to wait a while before they become intimate. Immediately after he said that, my wife told him that with the amount of money he spent because of her, he should be getting somewhere by now.
Okay.
That's a weird
Shut
comment.
up.
That's just a weird comment.
Yeah.
And-
with all the money that you're
Yeah.
spending on her,
You don't even
she
know
should
that.
open her legs.
And followed up by saying she was surprised because Sadie looks like she gives it up pretty easily.
Yo.
Wow. Oh, I would have slapped something off of someone.
You knocked the highlights out of her hair.
After that, things went south fast. And Paul hasn't spoken to my wife since December. No matter how many times I tried to reason with my wife and tell her that all she needed to do was apologize, she wouldn't hear it. She kept insisting she was the only one who cared enough to tell him the truth. On top of that, she started trying to turn her parents against Paul's relationship by telling them that Sadie posts designer bags and shoes on Instagram and that she bets Paul is the one paying for it all. One night I tried to tell her to stop and that she should be happy for her brother, but that escalated into an argument where she made a remark about how I apparently don't know what an older sibling looking out for a younger one looks like. Not this. It's not this. At that point, I told her that her attitude was the reason Paul cut her off. Am I the a-hole for finally reaching the end of the rope and telling my wife the ugly truth?
No.
And there is an update.
I
But
think
what do you think?
I think if she's going to hear it, it should be from him.
I think you gotta tell the truth more.
Yeah.
You gave her like a little bit of the truth.
That's true. You
Gave her a
literally
nibble
just,
of the truth.
You said like one thing that everyone has been thinking, but there's also several other things you could have said. But I think you started off with like
Yeah.
the best one being like, yeah, when you act like that, that's probably why he doesn't talk to us anymore.
Yeah. I think you
Ooh.
should call her out way more. She sucks.
Do you think it's just because it's like a sibling dynamic, or like because again it's
I don't even
her
know,
brother,
man.
but like that's like this is like
She has-
weird.
yeah. She has a weird relationship with her brother.
I mean, it could be like, I mean, I know families that like are weird, like that want to be like a thing, but
Yeah.
they're like really close and they post pictures of themselves like kissing each other's cheeks and stuff. And it's like, your brother and sister, I don't know why do I have to think
Yeah.
about this?
And it might not even be like they actually want that in like a weird way or anything, but
I know these
it gets
people
to
do.
the level of enmeshment where she's just too involved.
Yeah, too involved and letting your brother live his life. Like
Yeah.
if you're sitting there and trying to control him all the time, no wonder he doesn't want to speak to you.
But we do have an update. So let's see if she changed her tune. Hey everyone, I honestly didn't expect to get this much feedback, but I just want to give a heartfelt thanks to everyone who offered advice. After reading the comments and doing some quiet assessment of the situation, I decided to reach out to Paul, not on behalf of my wife, and not to make excuses for her behavior, but to genuinely check in and make sure he was doing okay, and to let him know that if he ever wanted to talk, I'm here. Took a bit of convincing, but I will be meeting with him tomorrow during my lunch break. As for things between my wife and I, since that argument, she's been very frosty. Before she left for work, I told her I was sorry for the way I phrased my words and that I would like it if we could sit down, think about the situation rationally, and look at each other's perspectives. I don't think you phrased your words harsh enough. That, however, just led to another argument, as apparently to her it seemed like I was playing devil's advocate for Sadie. Sadie's not the devil. Girl, Sadie's
are.
not the devil. I told my wife that I don't think Sadie is a gold digger or even trying to change who Paul truly is, and that Paul's just doing what a lot of guys do when they find someone they truly connect with. My wife responded by saying that I was only giving a good assessment because I find Sadie attractive. And ow.
Whoa.
And there it is. Jealous.
Yeah, could have spotted that from a mile away.
And despite my reassurances, she scoffed and left for work. That evening, after she got back home from work, she said she had late lunch with her friends and wasn't in the mood for dinner. When I tried to bring up our earlier discussions, she told me that she now knows I would never take her aside or trust her instincts, and then went to bed. 'Cause your
Oh my.
instincts suck. They're terrible. Most likely I will update after I catch up with Paul tomorrow. And we got an update too. Uh-oh. Do you think that she will listen?
No.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be this way for the rest of her life and just be miserable and annoying and controlling.
I feel like we might be getting a divorce.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll go well. But we do have an update. So let's see what happens. Put in the chat. 1, if you think they're going to get divorced, or 2, if she comes around. Let us know. Hey guys, it's been a while. Honestly, I wish I had a happier update to give. But it seems like every time I try to take 1 step forward, I end up taking 3 back. My lunch with Paul went great. At first, we talked about work and the family, and then we gradually shifted to how things stood between him and my wife. Paul said that my wife was way out of line in suggesting that Sadie was a gold digger, and that if she and the rest of their siblings had let him get a proper sentence out during the holidays, he would have set them straight. Apparently, Sadie has her own money, buys basically whatever she wants, and even owns a small business back in her home country, while also earning a decent living here. Paul admitted that, yeah, he buys Sadie gifts, as all boyfriends do, but those gifts aren't the reason she's with him. Yeah, every boyfriend buys gifts. He said that he went out and bought new things like an air fryer for his apartment because he genuinely wanted those items, and that Sadie's been teaching him how to cook simple meals so he won't turn to DoorDash when she isn't around. He also told me that Sadie has her own appliances in her own apartment. What came as a surprise was that Paul told me he had asked Sadie to move in with him. Wow. But she declined, saying she doesn't believe in living together before marriage, and also that it was too soon and she didn't want him to feel suffocated. Paul also told me that before he blocked my wife, she had been sending him messages raging about how wrong Sadie was for him and how she was driving him away from the family to isolate him. He laughed at that because he said Sadie's actually been making sure Paul feels like he has a support system outside of her. She cooked a whole spread for him and his friends during the Super Bowl and even left afterward despite them insisting she stay, just so he could have some time alone with his friends.
Healthy.
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 So healthy.
Green flag. Green flag.
My wife has also told Paul that Sadie was probably just using him for citizenship and wanted to escape her home country. Paul said that was the message that solidified his decision to block my wife, since all of it was completely unfounded. Sadie has been a citizen for a few years and actually has a pretty good home back in her country. Paul also mentioned that Sadie has been more open to forgiving my wife than he has, and that she's very family-oriented and hates the idea that others think she's trying to isolate him. I think it's just OP's wife. Moving on to the current status of my marriage. My wife had no idea I met with Paul. When I got home that evening, she was already in a bad mood because one of her friends had said something insensitive. Wow. Wow. One of your friends said something insensitive and that made you feel bad?
No. Oh, no.
Anyway, so I let it go for the night. The message she had sent Paul about Sadie's home country still lingered in my mind because the way she had phrased things was completely out of line and struck a particular nerve with me personally. Saturday came around and things were somewhat calm until my wife decided to start ranting about the entire situation with Paul again. I tried to shut it down, but she had gone quiet for a minute or two and I thought she had agreed to let it go, only to realize that she was browsing Sadie's Instagram. Stop.
I think she's just obsessed
She
now.
is. She is
Yeah.
obsessed. I tried to shift her attention and asked if she was excited about where I was taking her for Valentine's Day. But she brushed me off. She's like, I don't freaking care about Valentine's Day. By the way, I do care if you listen to full episodes with stories just like this, because you can go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. We do have a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I mean, honestly, I think you might have to end it, OP. Seems
Yeah.
like that really, you're just now discovering her true colors. I don't know how long they've been together, but you're just now discovering what a freak she is. And it's like, okay.
She's just so aggressive.
She is. For like what reason?
For
like
no reason.
She was like so worried that her son, that her brother was unhappy. And then she discovers that he is happy. And she's like, well, I had nothing to do with that, so I'm mad.
Exactly. She's upset because she didn't have anything to do with like his happiness.
Yeah.
And she needs to be involved in every area of his life.
Yeah, like what a control freak.
Yeah. But we've got a little bit left. I finally told her to stop and that most people don't spend hours obsessing over their brother's girlfriend. She shot back saying, I don't care about her or her family and that I was allowing her brother to get taken advantage of. I told her calmly that I trust Paul and his ability to think for himself, and that the simplest way to quell her worries was to apologize to her brother and ask for a chance to get to know Sadie. She said she doesn't need to get to know Sadie, and I gave up. We did go out for Valentine's Day, but the vibe just wasn't there. This evening, when she gets home, I'm going to ask her to attend couples counseling with me, or if she prefers individual therapy, because this is becoming too much. Thanks for all the advice again. Yeah, you need big amounts of therapy because this marriage is not going to last if you just keep going on the track you're on.
Yeah. I agree. I think counseling, individual and together.
She really needs some
because now
therapy.
you're like falling out of love with this woman now.
Yeah.
All because of these like
I would too.
weird controlling assumptions that she has of her own brother and this girl that is doing wonders for him, especially because she's like, he's, depressed and he's down and I feel bad for him and blah, blah, blah. And now he's happy. And she's like, well, he should have taken my advice on how to get happy, not do his own thing. It's like, girl, he's happy. Be happy for him.
Yeah, she doesn't want self-sustaining happiness.
Yeah, it's just crazy in my opinion.
But that's the end of that story, folks, and we've got another one coming right up.
Yeah, we do. My mother refused to leave my dad even if he was cheating. Now I know why.
Girl, leave him.
I, 18 male, for the past 2 years have seen a weird dynamic between my father, 46, and my mother's younger sister, 34. My dad is a guy with some status.
Oh,
I mean, not a big deal for the general population, but he is the VP of a company that has production and branches in 8 countries and is not exactly modest about it. No one is smart enough to give him advice. No one knows better. By the way, this comes from OKWeird9430, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give some good advice in a little goofy manner. But we do not have all of the answers. We'd only tell you what we would do in this situation, but I would love, love, love to know what you would do down in the comments. As OP says, in his field, I am sure he's very skilled, but no one knows better than him, even with unrelated things like what furniture to buy, why the dog won't eat, and stuff like that. When we eat, my mother puts the plate in his face, puts the food on that plate, and he looks around and is like, the recipe for the steak says it should be eaten without salt. And my mother instantly jumps up and brings the salt. She forgot. I told him, you can bring it yourself if you need it. I don't know how relevant it is, but my dad is Slavic.
He's a Slavic
woman.
woman.
As a Slavic man.
As a Slavic man.
As a Slavic woman, I agree with this Slavic man.
He knows best.
He knows best, and I disregard everything I said. My dad is Slavic. Came here pretty poor when he was a student. My mother is from here, still European, but more Western. He works long hours, meetings after meetings, and then goes to jog or to the gym, or during winter, he goes to the pool to swim. During that, my mother, who also has a full-time job, tries to hurry with the dinner. I try to help her all the time, but I really don't think she should be doing all that for him. This aunt of mine is pretty funny and doesn't take life too seriously. 34, no kids, and divorced with a history of affairs with married guys that ended in drama. Dad treats her differently than he treats everyone. He talks down to people and everyone is walking on thin ice around him. But my aunt doesn't. S was rubbing his arm, so Mr. Big Boss, have you peeled potatoes yourself? Because they are the best, and we all know only you can make the best things. And then she laughed, and he laughed too. He doesn't laugh with us. Dad's hobby is making wine. And he took my aunt to see the grapes and put a grape himself in her mouth.
Oh.
Ugh.
Well, it depends how you did it. Like, was it
Yeah.
like...
Did he throw it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, oh.
He goes,
Like,
catch.
catch.
Or he goes, oh.
Or think fast. Or he was mowing the lawn and she said, ooh, Mr. Engineer doing the ordinary man work. Where are your servants?
Girl, stop.
He laughs.
Stop it.
People who work under him at the company or directly with him are under constant stress because he treats them like in the military. On burger events, every time he is around, people are somehow tensed. She put her hand against his neck and said, What do you say, brother-in-law? Would you make me your secretary?
Oh.
Ew.
Why would she
Ew.
say that? As a Slavic woman, I disagree with that.
Wake up.
That's gross. My mother didn't like that. Well, yes.
I don't think anyone liked that.
What mother would?
Yeah, she's like, yes, dear.
And he laughed and said, you would beat my butt. And she says, and you would deserve that, and winks.
Ew.
Do they not realize there are people in the room?
I don't think they care. They just don't care.
I would honestly be like, hey, stop it. You know what? That's it.
Spray
What's
'em.
going on?
Water spray.
I would literally be like,
Stop.
so you guys gonna kiss or what? I would
Get
make
a
it so awkward.
room.
And they're like, you want that? We can do that.
Only if I'm his secretary. Only only in front of everyone here.
Ugh.
If my mother needs a ride, he is always busy. Or if I needed, now I can drive myself. But when my aunt called him at 10 p.m. to pick her up from the train station, he was at the office, but he went to pick her up. So they're having an affair or something.
Yeah.
And the update is I told mom without using the word cheat just about my concerns, and she got angry and threw a coffee mug on the floor. Whoa.
Okay.
She got angry and cried and said to never repeat such nonsense.
That's 'cause she already knows.
Yeah.
She knows your dad is cheating on her, and she doesn't want to confront that.
That it's just in my head. She also immediately called dad to tell him what I did.
Girl.
I feel betrayed, to be honest. Why she needs to tell him everything? I am a bit worried he will be angry with me when he comes home.
Freaking Hitler Youth over here. Stop reporting on your family.
There's an update. What do we think is going to happen?
I hate this.
He's going to go home and be like,
What's wrong with you? That's it. Stop and give me 20.
I think the mom is not going to do anything because unfortunately she is stuck in this very
yeah, she's doormat.
Yeah, well,
a
she's doormat and
but
also I
he's
think
like,
just
go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, just trained to be like traditional wife.
Yes.
That, but also like since has so much money that
Yeah. I mean,
like,
she has a full-time job too.
she has a full-time job, but like this guy's probably like, hey, if if you can leave whenever you want, I'm not gonna give you any more money, or like I'm not gonna provide for you anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean
do whatever
like,
I want, kind of thing. I have all this power.
Yeah, the problem is that I think that even though she like totally would be fine if she left, because again, she has a full-time job, I think she is stuck in this like traditional idea of I can't leave my husband. I'm supposed to care for my husband. It doesn't matter if he cheats on me. I just have to keep going. And anyone who says anything bad about my husband is the enemy, even if it's her own kids.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Weird family dynamic we got here.
So weird.
But on to the update. Mom doesn't talk to me, doesn't talk to him. She didn't even feed my 7-year-old sister, and I cannot stop feeling it's my fault. I had plans with friends for New Year's Eve, but I feel guilty and bad. I should have waited until January. Should I apologize? Would it help?
Don't apologize. You did nothing wrong. You're probably going to be moving out soon and realize that maybe you need to distance yourself from this family, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think... I mean, you can apologize, but be like, I still feel that way, though.
Yeah, you did literally nothing wrong.
Yeah. I feel like you were trying to look out for your mom.
Yeah.
Because your dad and her sister have a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only one who can help your mom is your mom.
That's true. But you can help yourself to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search up OK Storytime. Let's just get into the second update. Update number 2. 3 days later. My mother today came to me to talk and apologize for her reaction, and she also wanted me to know she truly doesn't believe he is cheating with her sister.
Okay, girl.
But admitted their interactions are making her sad because he is never that chill around her. In her opinion, it's just that her sister has a way with him she herself doesn't.
Yeah, a way of cheating.
Yeah, a flirty way. A rambunctious way of, like, intertwining. And ended it all with saying that probably her sister would be a better match for my dad, but asked me to never again come to her with such comments as I did recently. Now you're even admitting it, though.
Yeah, she just can't face it. And that's not
Yeah.
your problem, girl.
Yikes.
I mean, boy.
Boy. She repeated that she's sure He is not cheating with my aunt, but even if he did, she doesn't want to live without him. Okay, so you just are giving him permission to do that, I guess.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And she mentioned that the custody over my sister would also be a very sensitive topic. Oh, and that's
Yikes.
it. So nothing got solved here, and I'm pretty sure he is messing around with your aunt.
Positive about that.
Yeah, because why else would they be like weirdly flirting? Like, I have aunts and uncles, never seen any of them do that with anyone else besides their significant others.
Yeah,
That
no.
would be so freaking weird.
It's really weird. Really weird.
But that's the end of that story. And we got another one coming right up.
Sure do. My mother wished she had a different daughter, and now everything's changed.
What's wrong with me? Is it because I don't shave my legs?
For some context, my mom has this friend couple she met when she was a teenager, and they have a daughter 6 months older than me, B, female 25. We used to be very close when we were younger, but as we grew up, our interests were very different, so we kind of drifted apart. And she's still close to my sister, female 23. By the way, this comes from throwaway AmITheAsshole 848929. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, last year, when my country was in lockdown, my daughter, female 4 at the time, had a very hard time adjusting to the fact that we had to stay home, and she couldn't go to daycare since they were only open to essential workers. She started to become aggressive, and I had a very hard time dealing with her. And it took about 3 to 4 months and the help of a social worker to fix this problem. Before I was able to fix the issue, I got a message from B saying that I was a piece of garbage.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
That I'm the one who caused my kid's behavior issues because I'm a bad mom.
Oh.
That my kid lost the wrong parent.
Oh.
Her dad
Whoa.
passed away when she was 1.5,
That's a horrible thing to say to someone.
and that I should have been the one who
What?
passed away.
Oh.
B, why?
Whoa.
She chose violence for no reason. She said she feels sorry for my kid because she's stuck with me until she's old enough to leave, and several other things along those lines. I was really surprised to get this message because I hadn't talked to her in over a year. Why? Imagine like you haven't talked to someone in over a year and then you just get like really aggressive, awful message. Huh?
Yeah. Hmm.
So I called my sister to ask her if she knew what it was all about. Apparently, when my sister is upset, she vents to B, and when my mom is upset, she vents to B's mom, but they never really update them when they're no longer upset for some reason. I told B that if she wanted to know how I'm raising my kid, she should talk to me instead of making up her mind based on what my family says when they're mad. She told me to F off and stop trying to find excuses for being a moron, so I just blocked her.
What?
B, like, huh? What?
Ew.
She called CPS on me 2 or 3 days after, claiming my kid was neglected, but the case was closed after the first appointment because it was obvious that my kid wasn't neglected. Dude, I'm calling my mom. I'm saying I'm going to have to put you on like an information diet if you talk to B's mom, and then you send her what B sent to you.
Yeah, and I also would be like, what are you guys saying that makes them react like this?
Yes. Or
'Cause
is
they
B
have
just
to be
actually
saying,
insane?
they have to be saying something pretty severe.
Yeah. My sister and B's dad tried to explain that she shouldn't have said those things, and B's dad even apologized on her behalf, and I'm still close to him. Fast forward to today, my mom called me because she wanted to take my daughter to the insectarium since B was in town for a couple of days, and it had been a while since she had seen my kid. No, you're not seeing my kid ever again.
What a switch up, from everything you said. You're like, hey, I think something's going on.
She's like, hey, she probably has some sort of mental health issue.
That's what I'm talking about. Like something's going on because there's no way you can switch up like that.
Yeah, absolutely insane to say to the mom that you just told, called CPS on, said she was a terrible mom, and then you have the audacity to text her and say, I want to take your child to the insectarium. No. I told her no, because B is not someone I want in my kid's life. She kept insisting, but I held my ground. And then she called me selfish and said that because of my little bump in the road with B, CPS is not a bump in the road.
Yeah, what? She called CPS.
My kid was going to miss out on a lot. I said I didn't care and that people who wish I was gone are not welcome in my life or my kid's life until she's old enough to make her own decisions.
Agreed.
My boyfriend and B's dad agreed that I'm not being selfish by keeping my kid home, but my sister sided with my mom and said that grown-up problems shouldn't impact kids and that I'm ruining it by being spiteful. Your sister and your mom are crazy, and I'm also not talking to them anymore.
I just don't understand where all of this what was the event that happened that makes them think she's neglecting your child and being, wrongful
I don't know.
in some way.
But I don't trust sister and mom because we already know that they're the source of whatever B thinks is going on.
Exactly. Yeah, because she doesn't talk to either the mom or B. So what is her family telling these people?
I can understand her opinion, but I feel like B really went too far. Am I the a-hole?
No.
We've got an update, but in what world,
Yeah, what-
girl? She called CPS on you. That's unforgivable.
Yeah. You were trying to get my child taken away from me. Because of what? Something that somebody told you? Why don't you come to me and ask? Why don't you try to be a part of my life?
Bye, B. You're never coming around here. You're never coming around these parts no more. Shoot. Scram.
Get out of here. Get.
But we got an update.
Be gone.
Ooh.
That was it. That was the one. Be gone.
I have a not so little update. Things really hit the fan these past few days, so I wasn't able to update sooner. My sister came over to my place after she finished work because she had talked to some coworkers about the situation, and they implied she should have been on my side, so she wanted to talk more about it. While my sister was there, I started receiving messages from relatives and some of my mom's friends. My mom had posted a picture of her and B at the insectarium with the caption, "I had a wonderful day. But it would have been even more wonderful if OP would have let daughter come with us."
Wow.
Then I would have replied with a screenshot of what she told me.
And then, and then I text back and I say, "Yeah, it was tough since CPS took my daughter away." "Oh, no, sorry, they didn't because I'm a good mom."
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to post and be like,
Yeah.
had a wonderful time, but would have been better if my B of a daughter would have let me see my granddaughter, even though I've been talking crap on her for the last year.
Yeah, and then I just respond, "Shouldn't have called CPS on me then."
Yeah.
Since they didn't have the full story, they were mainly asking me why I kept my kid from my mom. I called my mom to ask her to either delete the picture or remove the last part of the caption because she was starting drama for nothing. She was obviously upset and was starting to argue. And at some point, I asked her something you guys have made me wonder. Why aren't you on my side? Why, despite what B said, are you still hanging out with her and never try to defend me? I'm still speechless from what she said. She said because B is like the daughter I always wished I had.
Wow.
Well, keep her, because you're not my mom anymore.
Yeah.
But I hope you keep us by listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio in search of OK Storytime. There's a little bit left to this story, but what are you doing? How do you respond?
I'd be like, you know what? That's actually all I needed to hear. Have fun with her.
Yeah.
Don't ever contact me again.
Yes, exactly. Bye.
Yeah. I'd be
Enjoy your life.
I'd be like, cool, then keep her. I'll just get out of your hair then.
Yeah.
If that's what you want. My God.
Putting it on me.
Sorry, that's crazy. And
Yeah.
that's so disrespectful to say. How dare you say that to your kid?
Daughter. Also, to say B is like the daughter I always wished I had. You have 2 daughters.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
I wish I had 2 of them.
I wish I had 2 B's.
No A's.
2 B's in a pod.
B is quite successful. She has a good paying job, a pretty house, a nice car, was well established before she had a baby, and recently got engaged. My sister and I, on the other hand, have struggled to get where we are, and it's not good enough for my mom. My sister heard the whole thing and started bawling her eyes out. I know she's always tried to make my mom proud of her, but I think hearing what she said just broke her. My sister is currently staying at my place until she can secure a stable place to live, since she was still living with my mom, and we spent the past few days moving her stuff while my mom was at work because she doesn't want to face her. I think I'll take the advice you guys gave me and go no contact with my mom. I don't know what my sister will do, but I think she'll be taking this path too.
Wow. So
Nice.
this mother just ruined her daughters.
Yes.
Way to go, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, one big happy family. Now you don't get to see your grandchild ever again.
Yay.
Or your daughters. So have a good life with B. Bye.
Yay.
Bye, B. Go be bees together.
That's the end, though, and we got another story coming right up.
I just had weight loss surgery, but I'm scared to ask my parents for help.
Why can't they help?
Hi, I had gastric bypass surgery 2 weeks ago. I pay rent and live with my mom and her boyfriend, who moved in recently. He's a great guy, things are drama-free, and there isn't any underlying tension. Tonight, he brought home pizza, and I'm really struggling and considering asking them not to have large amounts of fast food/bad food lying out for long periods of time, like overnight, for a few weeks.
Fair.
By the way, this comes from Deleted, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah,
I'm Riley.
I'm Sophia.
and we're here to give some good advice in a little goofy manner. But we do not have all of the answers. We'd only tell you what we would do in this situation, but we would love to know what you guys would do down in the comments. As Opie says, my mom's boyfriend coaches a high school football team, and today he brought home leftovers from a pizza outing, about half of a cheese and half of a pepperoni pizza, the kind from Costco. For those of you who are unfamiliar with gastric bypass, it's weight loss surgery and only performed on people who really need it. I got to be morbidly obese due to food regular use. Since starting the process to surgery, I stuck to dietary guidelines, and since having the surgery, I have been extremely strict, sticking to the all-liquid post-op diet. I've lost 21 pounds in 2 weeks,
Wow.
but it has absolutely not been easy.
Wow.
Surgery has changed my life and continues to. Before surgery, I could have probably put away the entire Costco pizza myself. Not kidding.
You go, girl.
I
me
feel
and,
like
me and you both.
Yeah, I feel like I can also do that.
But but it's probably something.
Well, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I do regularly too.
Yes.
Wow.
It's really, really hard to have this pizza in the house. I'm ashamed to say that when they were upstairs, I even tore off a piece of cheese and chewed it and then spit it out because I was so disgusted by myself and refused to give up all the hard work I'd put in. This is the first time I've broken since surgery. I know it only gets harder, but I'm working hard. Would I be the a-hole if I spoke to my mom about having large amounts of fast food/bad food sitting out in the house for a few weeks? I feel like she would be more comfortable if I spoke to her rather than her boyfriend directly. They do eat fast food when I'm home. I don't mind. I just go hang out upstairs in my room. It's not hard for me because it's like being eaten by other people and I can remove myself from the situation. When I say I don't mind, I mean I don't mind emotionally. I'm working on my relationship with food. It's a process. It's just different when it's sitting out there all night. And there's an update.
Guys, when you sleep with the dogs, what do you wake up with?
Please.
Poop? Oh.
Fleas.
Please.
You wake up with the fleas. You've gone through something big. The surroundings around you may need to change as well. So I don't think you're gonna be the a-hole. No.
Nah, I don't think you'll be the a-hole for being like, hey, I just had the surgery and it's really hard because I want to eat. But I'm trying to limit that. So
Here is where you would be the a-hole.
if you're like, get out of my house.
If you were roommates with someone that it was really hard for them to consistently eat, and then anytime they had food out, you were like, you must put it away. I can't see food. And then you both are starving. That's where you would be the a-hole. But that's not the case. So you're fine. Does that make sense, Sophia?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Was it a little extreme, Sophia?
Meh.
Okay, great.
Update. Turns out I didn't even have to ask.
Nice.
I hadn't mentioned, didn't think it was necessary because it was so long ago and she eats normally now. My mother had the same surgery about 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I went for a 2-hour walk because it's one of my distraction tactics when I'm having a tough time. In the time I was gone, without me even saying anything, my mom had come home, seen the pizza laying out, and talked to her boyfriend about how hard it was for her after her surgery, and she had the exact same idea I was asking about here.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
What a wonderful thing to have understanding parents. He was totally cool with not leaving fast food out. She mentioned it to me when I got home, and I was just thinking about how I'm so lucky to have people around me that support me.
Aw.
Thanks for all of your advice and feedback. Also, edit. I said when they were upstairs because I thought my mom was home. Turns out she wasn't. Oh. By the way, I would appreciate you listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left. There's a second update here.
So, probably what my grandma and my uncle got was different than this. Is gastric bypass where they remove the stomach and you only have like a little one left?
They don't remove your stomach, I don't think, but they like it's like something, they put like something around it, I think.
Okay, because
Like-
whatever my grandmother got,
To where you can only have like a little bit.
okay, yeah, because whatever my grandma got, she couldn't drink water 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after eating because like it would
Oh.
drain the nutrients because she doesn't have I think a stomach or like whatever it is that they took out of her. I'll have to ask her, but It help-
Oh, yeah.
it helped her like lose a lot of weight.
Can you
It
look it up?
says
Sophia?
it's a highly effective surgery that reduces the stomach to a small pouch and reroutes the small intestine, resulting in 60 to 80% excess weight loss. And the surgeon creates a small egg-sized stomach pouch and connects it directly to the small intestine, bypassing most of the stomach and the first part of the small intestine. This restricts food intake and reduces calorie absorption.
Okay,
So they don't like take it out completely.
just
They
make it smaller.
No, they
They
just make it smaller.
make it
I
small.
guess?
Yeah, they like tie something around it, I feel like, I don't know, from what I remember, someone like saying you tie it and it's like tinier.
My uncle also had diabetes, and
Oh.
he didn't have to worry about diabetes after that surgery.
I mean, yeah, sometimes diabetes is caused by obesity. Update number 2. I feel like there are some misconceptions in the comments. They can eat whatever they want. I do not mind, nor would I want to have any say in that. I am not saying don't bring certain food in the house. I'm just asking that it not be left out for long periods of time, like all evening and overnight. My reasoning behind it is that it makes it hard for me while I am working on my relationship with food. Rereading everything, I think it would be different if I was asking roommates not to leave food out overnight. Also, I see a lot of people saying I'm just going to fail with my weight loss, but hey, I'm optimistic. If I didn't have issues with food, I wouldn't have needed bariatric surgery. They spelled it weird. But just because things are still tough doesn't mean that I won't get better over time. I feel like it's a process, and as per my last update, my family around me supports it.
Yeah, you got to
As they
treat this
should.
like any other addiction, like alcohol addiction, drug addiction. If someone's going through that and they're alcoholic and they want to change,
Yeah.
you shouldn't, maybe hide the shots, hide the things away.
Yeah.
Don't listen to those
Exactly.
people.
Like, don't invite someone out to a bar who is trying to be sober.
Exactly.
Like my what is it? My mom's friend was a big like drinker and like went through like so like very rough like times, and now she's like very, very sober. But she like my mom will invite her out, to whatever, but she doesn't go to bars. That's like her thing.
Oh, that's nice.
She won't go to bars. She's like, there's too much temptation, which like good on her.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah. But people who have that type of like a personality though usually go to something else.
I think we all got it in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form.
But that's the end of that story and the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And
See you tomorrow.